In this video, we're going to go over the Solana account model. So basically, all data on Solana is stored in what are referred to as accounts. You can effectively think of Solana as a public database with a single table called the accounts table, where every entry in the table is an individual account, where each account has an address that's used to locate some corresponding on-chain data, which is just an array of bytes. Now, the address of every account on Solana is 32 bytes, generally base 58 encoded, and looks something like this, and is the unique ID to locate the corresponding on-chain data for that address. Now, the data for every account on Solana will deserialize into the same base account type, which looks something like this. Here is the base account type for every account on Solana. Every account has a Lamport field, a data field, an owner field, an executable field, and a rent epoch field. Rent epoch is a legacy field that's no longer used, so you don't need to worry about this one. Lamports are the smallest unit of SOL, where there are a billion Lamports in one SOL. In order to store data on-chain on an account, we have to allocate a certain amount of Lamports to the account that is proportional to the amount of data we're trying to store on the account. This concept is commonly referred to as rent, but you can effectively think of it like a deposit because the SOL that has been allocated to an account can be fully recovered when the account is closed. Next, every account has a data field, which is just a vector of bytes, and this is what we get to play around with. The data field can be used to store an entire program, or it can be used to store some data that we're meant to read from. So when we fetch an account to get its data, what we generally want to do is read the data that's stored in this data field. Next, every account has an owner field, and this is a key part of the Solana account model because the owner field stores the address of a program, and only the program designated as the owner of an account is allowed to modify the data on that account or to deduct the Lamport balance from that account. So what exactly is a program? Well, a program is an account like any other, except the executable flag is set to true to indicate that the account stores a program. And that is a basic overview of the base account type for every account on Solana. I just want to highlight that although all accounts are part of the same accounts table on Solana, there is a clear separation between program code and program state. And we're going to take the token program as an example. So for the token program, the executable field is set to true to indicate that the account at this address stores an executable program here in the data field. Program accounts on Solana are stateless, meaning program accounts don't store any data that we're meant to read from. Instead, they only store the business logic for the program. However, the programs include instructions that define how to create new accounts on-chain with their own address that are owned by the respective program. In this case, the token program. This allows the token program to define what data to store in the data fields of these accounts it owns. And in the case of the token program, these are the mint accounts and token accounts. To summarize, all data on Solana is stored in what are referred to as accounts. There's effectively a single accounts table where each entry is an individual account that has an address that's used to locate some corresponding on-chain data, which is in bytes. All accounts deserialize into the same base account type, which have the following fields. There's Lamports, owner, executable, rent epoch, and data. So Lamports is just the SOL balance of the account because in order to store data on-chain in an account, we have to pay some price in units of Lamports. Every account has an owner, which is a program that is allowed to modify the data on that account or to deduct its Lamport balance. Executable simply specifies whether the account stores a program or not. In the case of programs, the data field stores the program. In the case of accounts where the executable is false, the data field probably stores some data that's meant to be further deserialized into an account type that's defined within the program that owns it. And all of these accounts, whether program or state that we are meant to read from, are entries in the same accounts table. And that is a high-level overview of the Solana account model.